In today's topic, we would be talking about franchise. Franchise may be defined as the right of qualified adult citizens of a given society to vote and be voted for in an election. The voters are constitutionally called the electorate, while those seeking to be elected are called candidates. Types of franchise. There are two types of franchise, namely, limited or restricted franchise and unlimited or universal franchise or universal adult suffrage. Limited or restricted franchise. This is the type of franchise whereby not all qualified adults are allowed to vote or to be voted for. The right to vote is only granted to those adults who fulfill certain conditions. The criteria may depend on one's race, sex, property owned, evidence of payment of taxes, etc. Merits of limited or restricted franchise. It gives a few well-informed citizens the opportunity to vote after critical scrutiny of the candidates. It seems to result in more mature elections than unlimited franchise. It makes use of qualified candidates rather than universal franchise. Demerits of limited or restricted franchise. It does not give all qualified adults an equal chance to vote. Limited franchise is prone to corruption because the few people allowed to vote can all be bribed. Those elected through limited franchise do not reflect popular choice. Unlimited franchise or universal adult suffrage. This is the type of franchise that allows all qualified men and women adults to vote and be voted for. This is the most popular form of franchise. It is constitutional and democratic. However, there are still some qualifications to be met by individuals before voting, although it is not as restricted as in limited franchise. Some of the criteria for voting are age, citizenship, registration, sanity, bankruptcy, residence, etc. Merits of unlimited franchise or universal adult suffrage. It gives qualified adults equality of votes. It creates the opportunity for full participation of many citizens of a country in their electoral system. It is a more democratic election. Demerits of unlimited franchise or universal adult suffrage. It emphasizes quantity rather than quality of votes. The majority of the adult voters allowed to vote are illiterates who vote blindly. The involvement of many people in voting encourages violent polling. It encourages the election of many unqualified representatives. Elected through unlimited franchise, they seem to be mediocre in outlook. Types of suffrage. Adult suffrage, this involves the voting of adults, men and women, having the qualification. Male suffrage, this is a system whereby only adult males are allowed to vote. Taxpayers suffrage, this is a system whereby only those who have been paying their taxes constantly can vote. Property suffrage. In this type of suffrage, only those with enormous assets and wealth are allowed to vote. Conditions necessary for eligibility as candidates for elections. Age. A person wishing to contest elections must be up to the minimum age limit stipulated in the Constitution. For example, in Nigeria, a person wishing to contest election for the presidency must be at least 35 years of age. Residential qualification. The individual must have lived in the country for a number of years or months as spelled out in the Constitution of the country. Payment of tax. He or she must be ready to provide evidence of payment of tax for at least some years. Payment of election deposit. A specified sum of money must be paid by those wishing to contest election in a country. No criminal record. The person wishing to contest an election must not be an ex-convict, must not be found guilty of any criminal offence, and must not be serving any form of imprisonment. Sanity. The candidate must be a person of sound and sane mind. Citizenship. In many modern democratic countries, only citizens are qualified to contest elections. Education. In most countries, qualitative education is a criterion for eligibility as an election candidate. Filing of nomination paper. A person wishing to contest an election must fill out his nomination paper at a stipulated time, supported by a specified number of persons. must not be banned. In a country like Nigeria, presently banned former politicians are not qualified to contest elections. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.